Guys, we're live. Although, honestly, I kind of think we're more dead. But I'm alive. But anyway, so today, of course, we went right into the show without the preamble. And sometimes I do that just to throw you guys off. So, today's hair day. And I'm looking forward to getting that done. But I also want to talk to you guys about an interesting dream I had last night. Actually, two. Although, I'll be honest, the first one didn't make a lot of sense initially until I had a chance to review it in a more awake state. In the first dream, I met Savannah Swindrunner. Now, for those of you who are not into World of Warcraft, you wouldn't know who Savannah Swindrunner is, but for those of you who do have an idea, you know that Savannah Swindrunner is, at this current point in the game, in the retail, is the war chief. Now, she's Sika's Vojin, who died in the battlefield, and gave her the role of war chief. The problem with Savannah Swindrunner, for the most part, is that she's just evil. Well, maybe not much more evil than Vladimir Putin is, supposedly, but she's not really evil, I don't think. But she's power hungry. Okay. And, so she had, developed a, as we learned during, I think it was in Legion, potion that can turn anybody into the undead, the Forsaken. That's why I think she's evil. Okay? Because she's willing to sacrifice living people to become Forsaken. Well, this is some of the backstory. So what was the last night's stream about? Well, basically last night's stream was me and her, I guess, had tried a relationship. Oh, God. This is when she was still more of a human or normal skin color. Not that gray blue that she is now. Okay? And when you look at her skin, it's molded. It has a marbled pattern to it. Everywhere in her back, her legs. Two different skin darknesses. And she absolutely could not stand me. And so she kind of decided that she didn't want to be involved with me anymore. And so she decided to get out of Silvermoon, give up her life as a ranger, and became the Savannah Swindrunner we all know now. Now, what happens to me? Well, I'm still, of course, doing my own thing, chug-a-lug, and I'm still trying to basically live my life. But every so often, me and Savannah Swindrunner kept running into each other. Kind of sad, actually. I don't really have all the details of what happened, but clearly it involved finding some kind of a secret lair she had. I haven't heard any more about Leo. Maybe Savannah Squid Runner actually is an archetype for Leo. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I didn't even think about that until you even suggested it. I mean, could she be an archetype for Leo? Well, I don't see her making potions and turning people into Forsaken, and I don't see her doing anything like that. But I wonder. How you doing, Krista? All right, so that's Dream 1. Not exciting. A lot of bits of it I didn't quite remember, but the second one I remember a bit more. I had managed to generate a portal to Silvermoon on camera. And during a morning show. And so I decided to go through the Silvermoon. But unfortunately, you guys couldn't come because I didn't bring my phone with me. And I wouldn't be able to show it live anyway because they don't have cell networks in the Silvermoon. Mikey, I don't know if you actually realize this, but that's not the case. I mean, well, maybe kind of true. I'm not going to say that the early years were necessarily great, but they were. Right, I'm not abusive to people. I really am not. But people online don't really. I'm talking about those who are just on the online side of things. Really don't know the real me. Kristen knows me because we are interacting every day. Oh, not every day, but most of the time. Next week, sometime, we're supposed to finally start working on the storage bin outside. Well, okay, that's fine. That's past tense. Let's not keep going. Not dragging out old stories here. All right, so let me get the Google panel up. At least I'm not as depressed today. Actually, I'm not really feeling too depressed at all right now. I'm not saying I'm feeling stellar, but that second dream kind of gave me a little bit of hope. And I say that because it gave me hope that there was a future for me somewhere. We know that this life is kind of sucky, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that. This life sucks, okay? You all know that. I think Brian K might be that, but I also think that maybe it's because Kristen knows much better the whole situation in person. You got to remember, she knows, on a local level, all the stuff that goes on with both the local community at large where I live, and of course, with the situation with me and Ed. and she knows exactly. Can you clarify that question a little bit, because I didn't quite get that? I mean, all right, it's the second paragraph I don't understand. You said, Anna knows exactly who I am, and she's met me several times, and maybe that's why she sabotages to help, because she's afraid. Meeting new people. Oh, I am afraid of meeting new people to a point, because the fact is I'm afraid of getting hurt. Which could be an interesting topic, but I have covered it on the show. I have been emotionally abused by a lot of people I didn't even know. I have been, and so it's easy for me to meet those people in a safe place. When I say a safe place, you know, would mean like, say, McDonald's, a soup kitchen, things like that, where I can get to talk to them and get to know them a bit. When Noodles, for example, suggested picking me up and taking me to New Jersey, I got scared because I didn't know anything about New Jersey, and I don't know anything about Noodles. And I was afraid because I didn't know what was going to happen. So that was one of the reasons why I actually turned him down, was because I didn't know what to expect, because I didn't know anything about the man beforehand. You sabotage people to think that because they're afraid of meeting new people. Yeah, yesterday you were to be taking a container ship to the UK. Yeah, I've thought about it, honestly. But then the fact is, me walking up the gangplank is probably as likely as me as some people walking down the aisle of a church. It's at one level it's a great idea, but then at another level, like, it scares me. You know. So there's a dichotomy there. You know, what is it going to be? Is you going to choose to go down on a container ship to the UK, spend 2, 3, 4 weeks at sea, and then get there in a new land, new place that you've never been? Sounds great on paper, but then when you actually think about it, all of a sudden your anxiety kicks in, and it's like, I'm not ready for that. And I think that's not uncommon either. I think a lot of people are that way. Yeah. Krista, I agree with you on that. I actually, Ed has even said something last night about what he's been feeling. He's been feeling the same way I have been. It's just that he hasn't talked about it in public. That is, he feels stuck. He feels like he's not going anywhere either. So, and I told him, I said, the problem is, and it's not you, and it's not me, it's just a general everything going on, is we don't know what to expect right now. Because the whole world is feeling a sense of hopelessness at large. No, Brian K. I don't want to see him in the streets. It's absolutely true. I don't want to see him vulnerable out there in the middle of the streets. Look at what he's been thinking lately. I don't think he would be able to keep managing to live like this. I don't think. I mean, that's so easy to say that I don't want to see him hurt, and I don't. I'm not saying he's doing us anybody any good, but being out in the middle of the streets at the mercy of the elements, both human and weather. I think it'd be much better for him to be with a place where he feels more safe than to see him out there in the middle of nowhere. See, I kind of feel this myself too. It's like, okay, if I'm in a familiar situation and I know what to expect, I'm going to gravitate towards that familiar situation, and that's not unexpected. That's just the nature of it. At large, yeah, at large, exactly. Maybe, but when he was in the streets before, his health was in a lot better shape than it is now. You got to remember that. Hi, how you doing, JoJo? Oh my God, there must be dust in the air in here. Panel's open, guys. Let's get some people on it. I think there's another JO on here. Oh, yeah, that's John Heyman. Okay. Brian K., you have got that totally wrong. I agree, Chris. It is too much. I can't really help him much anymore. I already told him this. I said, Ed, I can't do any more for you. I've already put a lot of best I can, but you need professional help now. You need to get into assisted, program to help you with medical needs. I can't do that. For example, you need to go schedule an appointment with your doctor. You got to get yourself the health care you need. You need to do that. I can't do that for you. I did McHenry. Oh, more like not really much of a saint, but but a pretty good person that tries to help people along. Well, actually, some of it's a both problem. Shall we break it down into the basic components? All right. I've known Ed for almost 30 years now. I met him in 1995. All right. So if it was 2025, it would be 30 years. So we're talking about a little bit less than 30 years. Okay. Now, when I met him, he was doing better. Okay, he was younger. He was more healthy. Still overweight, but still healthy. He was outgoing. He had friends he used to hang out with where he used to live. He knew people. He was involved with the social community at large. And so was I. I was outgoing. Okay? And that was about 30 years ago. I'm going to say it's about 30 years. It's a little bit less than 30 years, but good enough. In those 30 years, of course, we have seen a lot of setbacks. With his own health, my health. I still care about him. That's why I sometimes get so frazzled, because I'm not sure what to do anymore about his situations. But that's likewise, he doesn't know what to do about my situation. Tiger hasn't turned on anybody here. Michelle is a Jim. What? I think there might be a little bit of drama in everybody, honestly. I mean, it's not like I look out for drama for fun, but it's just that in the last few years, I think a lot of us have seen enough of it in our lives, the ups and the downs. So, I mean, that's. Well, like everybody else, I've had my issues in life. I'm far from perfect. Let me see what kind of morning messages I got. Anything? Nope, nothing. Just junk mail. For invitation YouTube studio for Tuesday, April 12th. Okay, alright, that's the Patriotic Voice, Right Wing Rebel, Jolson Gradwell. Alright, So this gets confusing. Thank you for confirming your availability. Alright. So, that reminds me. On the 12th of the month of April, which is not that far away, it's next week, at 12:30, I'm going to be doing an online survey for YouTube content creators. That'll be after the morning show. So it'll be something that'll be interesting. Oh, what the hell is this crap? Oh my god. Alright. I never seen. That's unable to receive message. Alright. Delete that. What else do I got a message with? This one? What is all this crap? Somebody put me on a mailing list for a bunch of spammers that text message me spam like crazy. I don't know all you, but Brian, what did you say? I was talking to myself. Give me about 20 minutes to enough so I'll be back and get my daughter up from that nap. Okay. Jojo, why don't you come on the panel if you want? Tiger Kitty, I don't know where she went right now, but why don't you come on too? And Brian K., since you really seriously want to rumble anyway, why don't you get up on here? I mean, it sounds to me like you got stuff to say. Say it with voice. You know, I seriously, I wonder, Brian K., why do I get the impression you got an axe to grind? Because I think you do. I think you have an axe to grind. I don't know what the issue with you is, but I think that you obviously seriously got a problem, and you're not willing to talk about it. I have a network, Brian K. First of all, that's the thing you keep forgetting. Hold on a minute, let me get Jojo on here first. Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning, how you doing?
So, you hear what
I don't know
Brian
what's going
K...
on in the chat. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Well, you're not the only one who's kind of wondering why Brian K. is saying all these things today.
You should come up, Brian. Well, I did suggest it, but it's up to him. Well, I don't know what he wants to do. So,
you should come on up. I told him come on the panel, but I don't know if he's going to do it.
yeah, don't be a side chatter. Get your ass up here. That's what I say. That's just me, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as far as the following goes, I have a following of people. The problem is when you look at the number of people in the communities at large that we're talking about here, that they watch Rosie O'Kelly, The Bergs Show. There's a few others. Those are major ones that people watch. It's not a
Yeah,
huge group of people that we all circulate like among 3 or 4 channels. It's funny because the channels I watch would probably surprise you because it's nothing like that. I'm not into the live stuff. I prefer watching videos more than live channels because then the closed captions are.
Michelle, I've got my main channels that I still go to, but like it depends on your mood as well, doesn't it? Like I can go to like a cooking channel, but I normally just go to my normal ones. Like I won't name them on here. I'm not going to advertise them, but I stick to who I know, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like watching videos a lot of times, as I've said this many times in the past, because I can fast forward, I can rewind,
Yep.
I can pause, I can, so if something comes up, like it starts yelling, I can always pause the video, take care of what he needs, then come back, press the resume, and watch it more of the show. And that's why I like to do that. Um, and
Exactly.
And I think that's very common for a lot of people. They're not not everybody into live streaming.
No, I mean, I said yesterday I've got to sort my streaming odds out. I just play music and talk over it, but then I'll privatise them because all I do is get a copyright claim. It's not a copyright strike or anything, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's something related to what we were talking about with YouTube from yesterday. Is and this is true to Twitch also. If you have music and you're playing music in the background, and the case with Twitch is they will mute the music or mute your audio while the music is playing, which kind of saves your bacon. But at the same time, it kind of doesn't because it mutes all audio. So
I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You haven't I kept a few on not on private, and they blocked it from certain countries, but I privatised it anyway. So I understand what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah. And so let me go
I
back
thought
to
I
that.
heard Tiger up here a minute ago. Was that my imagination or?
Oh. This show was gaining a bit of momentum. A group of trolls came in, split the community in half. Mental halted. Oh, it's funny you should mention the word trolls, John, because some of it is outside influences that split the show up.
It's a bit messy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
It is a bit messy. So what I wanted to know is the way we can try to get all the pieces, and then there's a lot of them. It's almost like pieces of 8. You split the group in half, and then the subgroup gets split in half, and then the subgroups get split in half, and then the subgroups get split in half, and then all of a sudden you got lots of little pieces. But there must be something that can bring them all back together and say, "Hey, let's all get back together and see what we can do together to straighten out the mess."
Yeah, I think it's about. Do you know what it is? Like, I don't do this. You know that I don't do Twitter, I don't do Discord or Hangouts or anything. I think it's a lot of the behind the scenes that makes it messy. That sounds obvious, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just it just seems like there's a lot of people out to be arseholes, basically. Yeah.
Well, so anyway, so what have you been up to?
Oh, not a lot, Michelle. I spoke to you yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, the same old, just pottering about. Talking to you right now, and yeah, not a lot. What about you? Same?
I had an interesting dream last night. I talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the show, but I don't think I couldn't quite explain all of it. But
Okay.
especially not the first dream, because I really wasn't trying to keep the details of the dream clear. I was just, letting it flow, involving
Yeah.
Savannah Swinburner. And so that dream was kind of interesting. I guess I was dating Savannah Swinburner somehow or something.
Okay.
And
Right.
and I guess me and her had a breakup. And
Oh,
she
what
this is
you?
before she
Who
became
you?
the forsaken queen she is. and
Right.
and she had a skin issue where her skin was kind of marbled, like kind of patchy color skin. It wasn't like a one color. For those of you
Okay.
who don't know, if you this is more of an issue with girls than with sons, is that if your father's skin complexion and your mother's skin complexion, both are in the X
Mm,
chromosome, and so you can get marbled skin.
wow. Okay. I've seen artwork like that, but I've never known. Wow. Wow. Is it? It's not in Batigo, is it? Or was that completely different?
It's
Like met
it's it's where like when your father's
melatonin.
pigmentation, your mother's pigmentation kind of mixes in on your skin
Right.
together. I was like,
I'm trying
so
to get you. Yeah. I've seen some
I
African
got it. I
American
got it on my skin.
where
I
they
got
lose
I
the
got light
pigment
and
in
darker
the
patches on
skin.
my skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that someone that you know? Is it? You don't have to say the name.
Yeah. But the men don't have that problem because they don't have
Okay.
the second X chromosome from the mother. Or
Right.
they get
I
the
see.
mothers, but they don't get the dads. So the boy skin tends to be more like the mother skin.
Right. Okay. So it's that sort of different. Well, it's XY, isn't it? XXYY. Yeah.
So,
I
which
see what you're saying now.
obviously, given the nature of Savannah Swinburne's skin in my dream, clearly indicates that the mother had a different skin complexion than her father. Uh,
I've seen fascinating documentaries about twins born from African American, but one's white because of the
yeah.
melatonin, and the other one's black, and they had to do like a DNA because he was really worried. But obviously they were twins, and they're from the same parents. But
That's an
yeah, it is
interesting
fascinating.
result, though. If you have an Afro American father or Afro American mother, and say you have a white mother or a white father, and you're a girl, you can have traits of both skin tones in your on your body.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this was actually happened in England. Actually, it was on a program that we have every morning here called This Morning, and they had them on. It's about 12, 13 years ago now, but they had the lighter skinned baby and the darker skinned baby, but they were twins from the
Right,
same set of parents, but because of the melatonin and
right.
pigments that yeah, it's very fascinating. Fascinating.
Um, well, maybe you do. I don't know. I've had a bad case of the runs in the morning a few times this week.
Yeah.
Well, at least you can see my pipes are clean.
I can't read your chat. I can't see it. It's on about Tiger Kiki's pooping? What? How's that?
He's just saying is that he hasn't been feeling well, and he said he's been basically making
Oh,
up a
oh dear.
shitstorm, so to speak.
Mm,
Um,
hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I am the queen of bugs, as in I get ill. Well, I used to when I was going through the menopause.
well, Tiger Kitty, why don't you come on the panel? Come join us. I mean, first of all, that's one thing people don't realize. I actually have, like the panel, because it helps the show move along, I think. Oh, did I just? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, because I think that's the reason why the piano I think was a tool that I found later that was very helpful for the show, because the otherwise I don't always have enough stuff to cover.
Right. No, I thought I'd just come up and see how you are and that. Oh, is Tiger here, is she? In the chat?
Well, anyway, the thing is, what's the weather like where you are? Right now, it's sunny here.
It's it's been quite fair here, but it's still got that nip in the air. But it was really, really warm about 2 weeks ago, and then we had snow. It was only a tiny flurry where I am, and then it turned warm again, and now it's really damp. So yeah, it's a bit rubbish. What about you? Same as?
Yeah, well, today is going to be mild, so today is going to be good for my hair appointment. That's why I got my white shirt on. Today's hair appointment day. Right now, it is mostly cloudy. It's not raining or anything.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because the climate does affect your hair. When I went to Jamaica on holiday, my hair was so soft. It was like it gets a bit, because I've got fine hair, but there's a lot of it, and it gets a bit mingy if I don't wash it in time.
Also, on Tuesday next week, it's going to be high of 21. Wednesday is going to be high of 17.
Oh. Now, yeah, you do the Fahrenheit out there, don't you?
Celsius.
Because here it's degrees Celsius, yeah. I think it's about 10 here, degrees Celsius, so I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
That's 71, that's 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's going to be a good day for me and Krista to try to work on the porch. If she's that day available. I don't know which day it's going to be. I paid her up front for the work on the porch. I paid her $60 to work on the porch with me. But when we were going to do it 2 weeks ago, or it was just rainy and dreadful, I was like...
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I told you, like, back in the day, I got run over, didn't I? And I've still got my metal plating from, like, 30 years ago. And I can always tell when it's going to be damp because it plays up. I'm thinking of having it out, but, yeah, get to that age and you think it's a bit...
No, Leah's not banished. I don't think she's a mod here anymore, but she hasn't been kicked off the channel, no.
I saw Leo yesterday, actually, in Noodles. So it was really nice to see her.
I don't want to go through every single back message. I'm falling behind here. But I think I slept in Walmart's parking lot. Oh, okay. In her motorhome.
You're warm enough. I can't see who's saying that because I can't read the chat properly, but stay warm.
Well, don't forget, guys, that during the spring, emotionally for me, is a kind of an interesting situation emotionally. I don't really do quite that well, or I start to get depressed. But then at the same time, I start to not get depressed because I'm starting to go out more. And I certainly been out like 3 times in 3 days. I've been, going around and taking care of little things. And I got to go back out this afternoon again. So I've been trying to stay active. Now that the weather is starting to be a little more pleasant, it's going to be a good day for me to get things done.
That's good. That's good. I know what you mean about, they call it the SAD, don't they? Seasonal affection disorder. I suffer from that probably for the last 10 years, like the winter, the dark nights. I mean, it sounds obvious and cringy, doesn't it? Like everyone's going to get depressed, but yeah, it's definitely a physical element to it as well. Definitely.
Yeah, it's because you're not getting the sunlight on your body. Your body's not producing the melanin in your
That's
skin.
it. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that actually. Yeah, I was asking a lot of people on here about the melanin. Is it No, it's not melatonin. It's melanin, isn't it? It's like a tablet you take, and it helps you feel a little bit better.
You can take it as a
I've really
tablet
heard
and get
about.
vitamin D3 supplements, but
Yeah,
the truth of the matter is, good old sun is still, better.
yeah, the
Get
old
out there and do
yeah.
things, you know. And then, of course, like I was talking to Ed last night about it, I said, don't forget, with all the lockdowns that they did, the American, I
Mm.
know, someone's going to say I should pull up the figures. I will pull up the figures. The American Psychiatric Association and the American Medical Association have both said the same thing.
Oh, the
The
APA. Right.
lockdowns that were
Okay.
happening were doing a tremendous harm on people, emotionally and
Right.
physically. Medical doctors were alarmed at how fat people got.
Right. Is
And
that from the APA?
and
Is
the
it?
anxiety that was caused during the lockdowns had seriously pushed
Oh, good. Yeah.
borderline
Yeah.
cases of depression and anxiety up a lot. And
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's understandable, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, they do case studies, don't they? Like, is that the latest study, or is it what they said about a year ago? Because
yeah,
obviously,
it was about a
I
year ago I
don't know
got
how your
this.
lockdown's going out in America. I mean, we're basically, well, not back to normal, but the
And several
restrictions
medical
are.
doctors even sent a letter to Donald Trump when he was president and said, these lockdowns are bad for people's well being.
Oh
They've
God,
also
yeah,
tried to send
yeah.
another letter to Joe Biden, but Joe Biden was like, just threw it in the garbage. He didn't want to hear it.
I don't even know who he is, does he, Joe?
Yeah.
Not that I can say anything about it, because I'm not in America. So. Hold on, I'll be right back, Michelle. I'm just going to mute.
My channel, it used to be a DIY channel, Brian. It's changed a lot, many times. It still does DIY things. It still does little projects now and then. It's a channel that covers a lot of different stuff. And lately it has been mostly covering some news and some personal content. And the APA also thinks you should destroy the endocrine system. Well, I don't know, but that's kind of funny because I don't think Sigmund Freud would agree with that. Um, but then Sigmund Freud was back in the 19th century. I don't know how he would do with Carl Jung and all the other ones that followed after him. Um, but what he originally he was a medical doctor, by the way. Sigmund Freud was not. Um, he didn't get into psychiatry or psychoanalysis without any kind of medical knowledge because he was a medical doctor beforehand. So some of his thinking was based on observations, but most of the patients he had were women, which I think skewed his results a lot. Sigmund Freud is a chromo. I don't know about that, but Gotta send Joe Biden a coloring book if you want him. Yeah, well, the thing is, okay, this was reported on Fox News that they believe that Vladimir Putin is also mentally ill, which would make sense. Okay, so you got two mentally unstable people and two major superpowers in the world basically doing things that they want regardless of what the legislative bodies want. Doesn't sound like a good recipe for a successful dinner, does it? Sorry, it's true. If that is true, and I don't dismiss the possibility, that doesn't sound good for any country. It seems that under the Russian Constitution, Vladimir Putin's got a lot more pull than Joe Biden does.
Michelle, I need to get off because I've got a phone call coming in a bit. But are you going to be okay? I don't know if anyone else is coming up.
All right. I'm hoping people come up. I'm not sure. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, are you going to
Maybe
be all
Tiger
right?
Kitty will.
Are you going to be all right?
Yeah, I'll be all right, I think. Well, when you get a chance to call, come back on when you're done.
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, I'll be back up in 10. All right?
All right.
All right. Speak to you in a bit.
See you in a little bit.
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like I said, it doesn't bode well when you got two of the big world power leaders, both are older men. One is clearly in better shape than the other. Mentally, they both are struggling. All right. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Both got their buttons on the button, their fingers on the buttons. They can do a lot of damage. John, shut up. Alright, so actually this was gonna invite Tiger up because yeah, I know. It just seems that it says to me, Joe Biden is threatening to send troops to the Ukraine. And I said, well, technically, it's kind of mixed. He can kind of, but he kind of can't. All right, here's how. He can't declare war. That's up to Congress to do. Okay. However, he's also the Master Chief. He's the top of the military chain. So if he says the existing troop deployments, you're going to Ukraine, he's going to send troops to Ukraine. But because there was no war declared, because he cannot declare war. Only Congress can do that. Okay. Yeah, I know. I saw you say that earlier. So, it's just kind of weird to think about it, though. How messed up this is. No, this country's... Well, you know what? I won't disagree with you either. I think in a way it is. That's one of the reasons why I think the sanctions idea is a total farce. Because, number one, we depend, as does a lot of the world, on Russian grain. And guess what? Sanctions prohibit the importation of Russian grain. We don't make enough grain of our own to fill in all the missing wheat that was made non-available because of the embargo, of the sanctions. Okay? Number two, this country now depends on oil from overseas, such as Russia and the Middle East. Because of the damage that Biden did to the pipelines in this country, we are dependent on foreign oil because we're not allowed to drill for oil in our own natural oil reserves. Yet, even if we could drill for oil, the question is, will we still have enough to meet the demand? I don't know. The third thing is Vladimir Putin's own people don't like what he's doing. His own people don't support it. You gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, John, I don't disagree with you there. I think we need to have a new constitutional Congress, and I think we need to have a new Congress. We need to have a new constitution revamp. And I think we need to break the country up into smaller, itty-bitty governing units, because I think this country has gotten too big, too unyielding to be ruled effectively. Well, we have nuclear power in this country. In fact, in Connecticut, where I live, over 30% of our power comes from nuclear. But that doesn't help you in your internal combustion engine car, is it? I'm not even sure how I'm supposed to pour the liquid plutonium. I'm not even sure what to do with the wasteful radioactive car exhaust. So for automobiles, there is no way to realistically power them by nuclear, directly speaking. Although, if they do ever design a micro-nuclear power plant for a car that could be safe, reliable, and effective, that would be fantastic. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's... we've tried hydrogen, which kind of is an advantage, but the problem with hydrogen is it's a pain to store because it has to be stored in high pressure cylinders. It's the lightest element known to man. It basically can slowly leach out of containers, molecule by molecule. And it's just really, not the best solution. Oh yeah, don't forget, you need a lot of energy to separate hydrogen from water, for example, through that takes a lot of work to do through electrolysis. But we have done it now by other chemical means, but it still takes a lot of work to make hydrogen. So gasoline and ethanol are the two fuels that have become the most practical way to transport energy to the car. Ethanol fuel, E100, is hydroscopic, which means it absorbs water, which is bad because it'll rust out your fuel tank. So that means that you need to find a way to add a rust inhibitor into ethanol so that it will not rust out your fuel tank. We're supposed to be doing some World of Warcraft. I don't know when we're going to be doing World of Warcraft because we didn't do one last night because Skynet was at work. And we were supposed to do night show. So Wednesday we had a night show on YouTube and Twitch. And nobody really didn't have very much of an audience in the other platform. So if we do a night show on YouTube, I don't think it's going to do well. Like Walter Wayburn has said about his own channel. He says he's thinking about retiring from YouTube because of stress. And he says that he thinks there are greener pastures out there. Maybe he's right. Maybe there is. That's one of the reasons why we do the night shows, for the most part, in the games on Twitch and not on YouTube. So, well, tonight, and we'll have to see. Tonight, I don't know what Skynet's got planned. But there should be a show tomorrow on Twitch. Night shows, you think do better here? Yeah, they do better on Twitch. And there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, we have the ability to play music on Twitch. We can't do that on YouTube. But at the same time, once we can get more people on Twitch, once we get to 3 on average in a 30-day calendar period, and I set up for affiliate, then I can start getting bits, much as like memberships on YouTube. And the reason is because Twitch is a little more willing to allow us to cover more topics. Where with YouTube, you feel like you're stepping in a minefield. I don't know, that's no joke. That's the truth. We talked about that yesterday. YouTube has not really been a good content platform for some creators at all. So Skynet is your so-called... No. It's because we're trying to get the World of Warcraft gaming in. Me and Paul and Skynet. Now, Skynet works nights on Monday and Thursdays. I thought we were going to play Wednesday, but we didn't play Wednesday for some reason. And so he didn't know what his night schedule was going to be. So if I play World of Warcraft at night, it seems that, because right now we're part of a gaming group, there's more than 3 in the guild. Oh, I got a message, Paul, from the guild. It's a pretty generic message. I don't know anything about what this means. And so I did respond to the question now that was being asked. Let's see if I can find it here. It says here, hey, any healers up for ramps? I got asked to tank, but we can't find a healer. I don't know what ramps is. But I said to him nicely, I said, me and Mick know our healers. Not sure what your level is. I'm level 19.5. I don't know what ramps is. But they didn't get back to me. So I don't know if they found another person that got back to them or what the case is. So I got messages sitting here in text messages here. Yeah. Who the hell is this person? I'm getting somebody put my fucking number on a mailing list somewhere, and I can't get rid of them. Valid messages are getting mixed up with inconsequential garbage. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But okay, so let me just zip through these. Honey, I did sign up for that. Yeah, it was when I signed up for. There's a way online coupons save money on coupons. Jojo says, how you doing, Paul? So anyway, Paul, are we playing World of Warcraft tonight? Do you know? Did Skynet get back to you about that? If you're playing World of Warcraft tonight or not? Because I haven't heard from Skynet on the private group or anyone else here. Yeah. Coupons? I don't know. I don't really understand much about the honey, how honey works. I just know a little about it. Online coupons. Yeah. That's all I know. I got the Honey app on my phone or on my desktop, but I'm not really sure. You think it's, well, I can tell you right now that the leaks of version 10 are pretty interesting. It's called Dragonflight. And the two zones that are going to be in Dragonflight, which are going to be combat zones, are Lordaeron and Questhless. All of Questhless, not just pieces of it. So, I'm not sure how that's going to work. A dragon with 5 heads. God. What are you talking about? Get off of who? We got about another hour. Unless I have nothing else to cover. I'm not really just sort of stretching up. I did get up late though. Well, let me explain one thing. Like I said, I've had a fascinating dream last night involving Savannah Squidrider. Oh yeah, the portal. I did a morning show like today, and just for the hell of it, I opened the portal, the Silvermoon, and walked through. because I didn't know if I was going to be able to repeat the portal. I wanted to go see Silvermoon, so I got him out this chair and walked right through the portal. And then I realized I could duplicate the portal to get home again. And I said, yeah, there's an idea. Now I can go to Silvermoon when I want, come back when I want. How cool. Of course, so I grabbed my phone off my table here, went through the portal again. Of course, there was no cell signal. And I started wondering, well, if I could build a portal from, what if there was a way I could make a tiny portal that would let me send my Ethernet cable through so I could set up an access point on the other side of the portal so that I could actually stream from Silvermoon. And I didn't try it in a dream, but I wonder if that would have worked, because the book does talk about that there is a micro portal set large enough for fiber optic cable to go through to Silvermoon. Kick it out and banish Selpa. Yes, I get sleep. I did sleep a lot last night. I also watched a ton of videos too. I don't know. I kind of retired the comic strips some years ago. But speaking of the comic, what about the book? Have you read the book yet? What's in the book? Because I'm still trying to work on the book. I think I may have found a solution to the dilemma that was being discussed in the end of the book. But I wanted to know if you got a chance to look at the book yet. Did you look at the book yet? Well, the harpies are not a graphical topic. The early ones were interesting in the way they used to be drawn. But I tried to revive the comic strip, but I kind of one sense I felt like I reached a plateau with them. And then I tried to create a book based on the comic strip. Well, first I wrote the book called Harpy Flight 1. Then I drew the comic strip. And then Michelle's Mary Helen's daughter, her girlfriend's daughter, Eve, starts telling a story about her mom, her two moms. It's called Eve's Paper, and that was also a short story based on the comic strips. I don't know where Jennifer J is. I have not seen Jennifer J anywhere. Well, in the other book, she is. In Eve's Paper, she is the main character because she's the one telling the story. So you gotta remember now, I'm writing for Eve's paper. I'm trying to rewrite as a 7-year-old. I mean, a 7th grader. And I'm gonna tell you, that is really hard writing in middle school. Because, you're talking now about from a younger mindset. And that was a bit of a challenge. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, there really isn't much more to cover other than getting my hair done today. Yeah. Don't worry about it. If you don't have to stand for 2 hours, you don't want to. I know. And that's about it. That's just about it, But we'll see if we can get some gaming in on Twitch today. Find out from Skynet if there's going to be a World of Warcraft game tonight. Ask Skynet what Ramps is. I think it's another dungeon. Or maybe a raid. I don't know which one it is. But Paul, I don't think the morning show phones would do any good. I really don't think they'll do any good. I don't even know if we're going to continue on with the morning shows on YouTube. I think the morning shows is really the last of the YouTube stuff that we've done here. Other than occasionally a video. Because we've pretty much fizzled out. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, I will. Alright, guys. Don't forget, I will be getting my hair done. I'll see you guys 3 o'clock on see if we can try to get some games in or something. There's not much more to cover this morning. So I'll talk to you guys later on, okay? Bye bye.